We've got a very well-defined customer.
Well-defined customer we're going to talk about as we're back. And those customers, it says home ownership could be $15,000 closer than you think, which is one of the educational things that Ralph Perry with THDA is on talking to us about.
Yeah.
This is our final segment. I mean, yeah, you're looking for a certain type of customer. The basic thing here in the final segment is you just want to remind people.
Right. This is the time of the year when people traditionally, if they're going to move, this is the time they really start thinking about it.
Yeah, when the weather gets nicer, right?
Yeah, home buying season, spring, early summer, that's the peak time. So it's an ideal time for us to remind people that if you are thinking about buying your first home, and you are thinking that that's something you've got to wait a couple of years because you haven't saved up quite enough money, or you're not sure about your credit status, or those kind of things, before you take yourself out of the game this year, take a moment and go to greatchoicetn.com. Click on First Time Home Buyer, and what you're going to find there is that the lenders who work with THDA can offer you a competitive rate on a 30-year fixed rate, no gimmick mortgage, and we have down payment assistance. And if the house you want to buy is in one of these specially designated zip codes, that down payment assistance will be worth $15,000 to you that under certain circumstances you will never have to repay.
And that's regardless of the price of the house. It's not like a percentage. If you're buying a home for $200,000, it's $15,000. If you're buying a home for $100,000, it's $15,000. And that's quite a jump on paying off a home. And there are some smaller homes, I bet, in some of these like Macon and Robertson counties where I think you could find homes maybe less than $100,000 depending on where you look. Yeah.
You know, take a look. The website will give you an idea which of the specially designated zip codes, and we have a number of them in Middle Tennessee. Our regular down payment program is still pretty good, and it's available everywhere in the state.
Right.
But you will also find a list of all the lenders in Middle Tennessee who offer Great Choice loans, and a list of the counseling agencies that can help you get set up, whether you do it online or in person. But that'll really help you prepare and guide you through the experience and help you position yourself as how you handle your money and manage your credit, so that you're in better position when you do go for that mortgage.
And as always, there are qualifications you have to meet. And again, you were saying like in the Nashville area, the income limit for a household of 3, which is actually quite a bit, is about $95,000. $90,000 to $95,000 for a household of 3 in the Nashville area. I mean, that's a chunk of money. You're making that much money. I mean, you've got a decent living going there.
That is probably the most surprising thing. Nick. You know, I speak to a lot of groups about this kind of thing, and I invariably have someone come up to me afterwards and go, you know, Ralph, THDA, I thought y'all just help poor people. You know, my wife and I, we made $55,000 a year, and we thought we made too much money to qualify. So it's a pleasant surprise to a lot of people to realize that, well, my income is right, I've got the credit score I need, I've saved a little bit for down payment, but this can make up the difference and cover my closing costs and allow me to keep a little of my own money in the bank so that I'm prepared for life's emergencies once I get into my new home.
Exactly. What do you think is the biggest stumbling block for most of these buyers? Is it that they can't get the down payment, or is it that they don't have good credit?
It's the down payment.
It's the down payment?
It's the down payment.
Yeah. I would have thought it would be credit, or they just weren't ready to, they didn't think they could handle the payments. It's the down payment.
Right. You know, we will help people with the credit scores down to about 640, but our average customer comes in at the high 600s. But you know, there are plenty of people, their credit is in decent shape, they make enough money that a mortgage payment makes sense. What they haven't been able to do is save up a lot of money for a down payment. That's where we come in. That's where probably 95% of our customers come from. Folks who need a little bit of help on the front end to get into that house. And we do those as forgivable second loans, different terms based on our regular program with a special one. But you're getting that money from us. It gets you in the house. You're not accruing interest on it. You're not making extra payments on it. We'll settle up at some point in the future based on the program. But it gets you in the house. It helps you start building wealth, and it's the first step toward a lot of people's financial future.
When you talked about the 500 in the Middle Tennessee area that benefited last year, on the other side of the coin, how many of them are still in those houses?
Well, I would bet just about all of them are.
Really? Oh, come on now. Don't snow me. Does everyone succeed at this point? Are there some that have gotten in there that for whatever reason then couldn't? Well, maybe circumstances hit us all.
Here's the thing. Our lenders underwrite carefully. This is not like 15 years ago when your dog could have gotten a mortgage.
Right.
You know, if someone sends us, if a lender sends us a loan and a customer misses their third or fourth mortgage payment, we're going to take a close look at how that was underwritten, maybe make that lender originator buy it back from us. Now, we service our own loans now, so we build that relationship with the customer, and it's easy for someone to call us and say, I've just lost my job, or I've had a medical emergency. I'm not sure I can make my next payment.
What happens when that goes down?
There are a lot of things we can do to work with you at that point so that you're not in immediate danger of losing your home and you don't fall a year behind on your payments.
Right.
There are things we can do if we can intervene early. And that's another advantage to what we do.
Oh, I think so, for sure.
We underwrite more conservatively than a lot of other state agencies, state housing agencies across the country. So we don't see loans that go bad 6 months after they're originated. And the specific example, with the $15,000, you really don't get the advantage of the forgiveness until you've been there for 6 years. So, yeah, maybe somebody...
meaning if they were to leave in 3 years...
They're going to owe us the $15,000 back.
Yeah.
If they leave in 7 years, they're still going to owe us, about $9,000 back. The incentive is to stay there over time. Now, of course, if your property doubles in value, it might still be worth it for you. But by and large, our buyer, the first-time buyer of modest means, they are not looking to buy a home as a quickie investment. They are thinking about it as, this is my home. This is where I'm going to live. It's where I'm going to raise my family. They're looking to put down roots, and that program has worked very well.
Interesting, because I'm just wondering the demographic and the profile of these individuals. I agree with you. I agree with you, but I would think that most of them, first-time home buyers in this situation, most of them are probably going to be younger. And hopefully they're at the point in their lives where they can get this first home, but their earning potential is going to increase.
Yes.
Their families may grow, and whatever that house is they bought, they may be ready for a new one. So, but if they do make enough money and they can make a profit, they can sell it, you said, after 6 years, but they'll still owe you a percent.
Well, they can sell it anytime they want, but if they've gotten the $15,000 and they sell or refinance in fewer than 10 years, they're going to owe us some or all of the $15,000.
Gotcha. And they may decide, we have no choice, but I'm making all this more money now. I appreciate they got us into this house. We get out. But after 10 years, they can do whatever they want.
Right.
They can do whatever they want.
Pretty much, yeah.
Would you agree that maybe the demographic is a little bit of a younger crowd?
I think so, because just basically speaking, you buy your first home when you're younger. But it's not exclusively so. We have some older buyers, folks who have been out of the market for 3, 4, 8 years. They're technically first-time home buyers again.
Yeah. Well, let's just remind people, we just have a couple minutes left, that, again, this is going to sunset at some point. As you said, you can't imagine the Treasury giving you more money after the fact, as tight as everything is.
Yeah, I just don't see that, but we have, the response to this program has been phenomenal. Treasury gave us 4 years to put the money to work. We will run through it all in about a year and a half, meaning that probably by about Labor Day this year, we're out of those dollars.
Okay, so take advantage of it now. Make the calls.
If you want to buy a home in one of those designated zip codes, we have $15,000 available to help you for a limited time.
Yeah.
Probably through about August.
Big deal. Don't miss that. And if it's not you and you're watching this show and you know someone who is, that might fit, and they got to meet the qualifications. But I mean, gosh, a lot of people will. Go to greatchoicetn.com, okay? And again, that has that list of the zip codes where you can get into that.
It's got the product, the down payment information, the list of lenders, and the list of counselors. Everything you need in one spot.
We'll get that, and we will also get the phone number for you when we come back after we say goodbye to Ralph. You are a great steward of this.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
It's a good program. It helps people. I know. You like your job.
I do.
Thanks for coming on
today.
Thanks,
Mike. Appreciate the opportunity.
Take a break. You can come back, programming note, and that information. Get your pen and paper and follow up. We'll be right back. Thank you, sir.